Unfortunately, we have to get some breaking news. A fatal crash in Vernon. Vernon, this is terrible. Let's go to Chris Christie live at Air 7 HD. Chris.
Wedged underneath the semi-tractor trailer. One person killed on the scene, 2 children and another adult rushed to a trauma center nearby here. We are still waiting for an update on their condition, but
welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Jack. This is GasDiesel Garage, and in today's episode, well, we have some things to talk about on the reasons why all those accidents happen. And you'd be amazed at why those things happen. And it has to do with a tiny little device. So let's get going. First, I got to get started with some coffee. Bear with me. Now, what caused all those wrecks, all that carnage, and the loss of life? Well, number one, the driver most likely should have been paying more attention to what he was doing. And number two, he probably didn't have proper accident avoidance equipment working on their vehicle. Because all these trucks nowadays are equipped with all these sensors and radars and whatever. Well, guess what? That's what we're going to be focusing in on today. Now, I have a Freightliner Cascadia, a 2021 model, and that right there, the front bumper radar, is not working. Now, the truck I have today, well, it was involved in a little fender bender, and this is when his radar was working. I don't know what he crashed into, but anyways, the last shop just decided to fix just the bumper, little cross pieces, and just a little cosmetic stuff. But they didn't fix the front radar. Now, why is this front radar not working? Well, we're going to jump in and we're going to find that out. And you'd be amazed on what I found. Well, I think it's only proper to let you guys know exactly what the front bumper radar does. Number one, it measures the distance between the truck and the cars or whatever are objects in front of you. It measures the distance, the following distance. If it senses that you're getting too close, it will slow the truck down and automatically without you letting off the accelerator. Safety number one. Number two, your cruise control will not work at all. It will actually go into a default, and cruise control just won't work. And yes, I know that pisses off drivers tremendously, but there's actually another thing that works hand in hand with the radar, and that is the camera that is up in the windshield. And yeah, if both of those things aren't working, you're pretty much screwed. So yeah, it's really important. So now let me show you exactly why this thing was not working. Okay, now we're in the Detroit data link system, and I want to go to fault codes just to verify what the code is. I already know what the code is. It's probably going to be some kind of power problem with the front radar. So there we go. Now I guess we got a lot of things, but I did have a bunch of stuff disconnected. But let's go down the line, see which one. There we go. See right down there, video radar decision unit. Got all those codes, the big red X's. Now the next thing I want to go to is I want to look at all of the cameras and the radars and all of that stuff. So we're going to go to instrumentation. We're going to go over here to Detroit Assurance, and it's going to pop up all of my voltages. For the VRDU, got 11 volts. That's not bad for the truck being off. Battery power, 11 volts. The SRR voltage is good, but this right here is what my problem is. The RDF, the radar front. It's not showing anything. That means there is a power problem. So let's go dig into the wire harness and see if we can find that 12-volt reference that thing is supposed to have. And yes, if you don't have a computer, you obviously can find out that you got a problem right here with the active brake assist not available, meaning that this truck will not slow down because it is not going to sense that there's a car in front of it and you can possibly crash. Yeah. Now to find the front radar, it sits right behind this plastic piece, right dead center of the bumper. The best way to gain access to the front radar, I'm going to take the bumper off. So what I need to do is open the hood. Now to take the bumper off completely, you got to first start with the 4 bolts on the driver's side. There's 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and they're 5/8. Just take them off. Next, we swing over here to the passenger side and we take out the 2 bolts on the top and the 2 bolts on the bottom. The size is a 5/8. Once you get all 8 of the 5/8 bolts out of the bumper, you want to roll the hood back down, and then you're going to pull the bumper off just like this. And there we go. We have access to the front radar, as you can see. And let's just move on. Now, of course, you see I only see about maybe 6 inches of the wiring harness, and I bet there's something wrong with that. So what we need to do next is to take this mesh screen off. There's 2 1/2-inch bolts on the left and 2 1/2-inch bolts on the right, and take them on out and slide it out. Now that we can see the wiring harness, I want to show you guys something. You see my fingers, how they're going in between the condenser and the frame, and there's a little bit of a damage there. So I'm willing to bet that that damage is right here. Now that I got a little bit of room to check this thing out, I'm checking out the plug here. You can see how it's a little bit damaged there. Well, unfortunately, that little wire there, that is a 12-volt reference. That is what we need 12 volts out of, and that is not looking good. What I need to do now is grab my multimeter because I'm going to check for power. And we start this by turning the ignition on. Then we're going to take our negative lead, put it to the frame, and then we're going to take our power lead and get a small, tiny pin and put it in this terminal here. Okay, we got our meter on volts. Everything's hooked up, and look there, we have no voltage on that terminal. Now I don't see the damage. I see damage, but I don't see it broken. So next, I'm going to fish the wiring harness up through the frame rail here and the condenser to get a better look. Oh, there we go. We have some major damage right here. That doesn't look good. I bet you it's broken right there. And it got some damage right here on the condenser. Now, I don't know if you guys can actually see that getting in focus, but that thing is severed completely. Well, preparing to fix this, I had to cut out the bad part of the power lead. I'm going to fix or doctor up the ground there. And look at these twisted lines. Those would be your CAN lines. Thank God those aren't broke. Now, before I continue on with the repair, I want to make sure that that end of the wire is throwing power. And look there, it's got power. Now, guys, like I've said before, always solder any important computer wires, because if you butt connect them, you're going to have problems. Solder. Now, after you repair it, go back to the terminal at the end of the plug and check for power. There we go. We got power. Now it's just a matter of putting everything back together, plug this thing up, put the bumper on. Right, now let's turn the ignition on and see what we got. Alright, front radar misaligned. That means it's actually working. So, and of course we still got that active brake assist not available. That's because we got to calibrate this thing. Okay, now all we got to do is just align this thing. Now the way that we align it is we actually have to drive it. So let's go ahead and do that. And yes, you're gonna have to grab your laptop and use the Detroit data link. And as you can see, we just checked the codes real quick. As you see there, radar's not aligned in VRDU, video radar decision unit is timed out, but that's more than likely because of that. So what we need to do now is go up here to actions. You need to go here to the Detroit assurance. And now we're able to look at all the alignment and calibration. So what we'll do now is just click on radar alignment and just basically do what this thing says. All right, now we have it at a complete stop. Press start and just say yes, and just go ahead and start driving. Not only you can check the progress on the computer, but you can also check the progress on your dashboard, as you see here. So let's just go ahead and just keep on driving. Okay, now we got the front radar calibrated, but we also have to calibrate the rest of the system. That's why we have all those stupid idiot lights. So we'll go back over here to our computer. Radar alignment complete, and it passed. So let's get out of here. Go back to actions. Go back to Detroit assurance. Let's go here to the MPC calibration, and we just got to do it again. Press that calibrate button and drive it. Okay guys, it's time to get a little serious here. If you're a mechanic and you have a diesel truck that comes in for a radar, please, by all means, check this video out, look at the wire harness, make sure it's not broke. And if you're a driver, make sure you get that mechanic to stay on it until that thing gets fixed, because right now, guys, it's a matter of life and death pretty much. I mean, I want to go home to see my family every day, and I'm sure you guys do too. So until next time, like, subscribe, share the video if you like. Please share the video, especially with people who don't give a damn. They need to see it. But like I said, please like, subscribe, comment, share the video, and we'll just have to see you next time. Peace.